Okay, we're going to get started now. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, I'm going back to my desktop. This is so incriminating. But, uh, good afternoon, everyone, or evening, or morning, whatever your time zone is. Uh, so, we- so today, I am going to waste even more bandwidth by doing something that's completely pointless. But this time we're not doing it with Windows, we're doing it with Debian, which is a Linux distro. And, yeah, we're gonna do another OS-Ception. The day... And for the second day in a row. How original. How original of me. But I mean, I think this is... But I mean, I think this is gonna be pretty unique. At least more unique than all the other VM-Ceptions that people have tried. So, ignore these VMs, these are not relevant. But yeah, basically we're just gonna be installing Debian and Debian and Debian, and my host is actually Debian, so this is perfect. Now, oh my god. Oh my god. Now, instead of bleh, now instead of just doing every Debian version one at a time, I figured that would be a bit too boring. I've decided to pick Debian versions based on major changes, like in hardware support or fun or to the operating system itself. So the first VM is going to be Debian 12, which oh crap, I do not have it. I do not have notes for this. Hold on a second. So we're gonna hold on a second. You know what? While I'm at it, okay, there. I put up a poll, and okay, based on the notes, I'm gonna start with Debian 12, with codename Bookworm, which is the first version to have split non-free and non-free firmware repositories. So I need to close this Discord window again. yeah, let's get started. I'll do that right after I set my mic aside. It's actually just a webcam, but okay. I'm gonna boost its volume. There we go. And let's get back to our screen capture. And okay, we're gonna create a new VM. And I have a bunch of ISOs right here, but we're gonna start with Debian 12. And we need to give this quite a lot of RAM. I have noticed that this computer will move some of its as needed memory to swap. So I would be perfectly okay with giving this 6 gigs. Even though, oh my god. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with giving this 6 gigs of RAM, and I'm gonna configure the CPU. I'm gonna configure the vCPU count later. We need a fair bit of space. I think I set my microphone volume too loud, so let me adjust that right quick. There we go. We need quite a bit of space. Let's do 100 gigs. And I'm going to customize configuration before install. I'm going to put this on UEFI. And then for the CPUs, manually set this topology. We were going to give basically the same configuration. Basically the same configuration as my host CPU, 8 cores and 2 threads per core, giving us a total CPU count of 16. I may reduce this later for some of the older versions, but yeah, we're just gonna start the installation here. And ugly scaling, I don't like that. And we're just gonna do a regular install. And United States, American English. We're not gonna challenge ourselves today. Well, I mean, we kinda are, but we kinda are already. But I don't want to make it more of a challenge than it has to be. So, okay, it's configuring the network right now, and this VM is... Oh my god. Hello? This VM is going to be named Debian 12. By the way, my host is actually running Debian 13, which is actually not fully released yet. It's in the test. It's still in the testing phase, but it is going to be released soon. I am not going to set a root password. There we go. There we go. And Central Time. I am in the Central Time zone. And I gotta close some of this stuff here. And then we're gonna use the entire disk. We do not want a separate home part. We want all the files in one partition because libvirt stores its stuff on the. Because libvirt would store its stuff on the root partition and not the home partition. We need all of that space available for all applications. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and set this up. Okay, now it's installing the base system, and I was gonna give something to entertain you guys. Really, the most convenient thing I have right now is Toho. But well, I forgot I lowered the volume. I forgot I lowered the music volume. Because the game does get pretty loud at times. But I am not inclined to actually try to play this game. I don't want to embarrass myself on stream. Because these games are pretty hard. We're just gonna do a CPU battle on the lunatic difficulty. Because I'm feeling particularly sickly, so let's do Cherno versus Cherno. And yes, I am a rebel. I picked random stage. But the basis is almost on its own already. And this is the net CD, so I'm not gonna be downloading most of this stuff from the internet. Do a different mirror. Yeah, this right here is just gonna look like total chaos if you don't understand the Hogan things at all. But really just bullet health in general. Yeah, these CPU matches do not go by quickly. I've seen some of them go I've seen some of these go on for more than 15 minutes. Oh, left channel took a hit. I don't know why that game is being so slow. Okay, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, the internet I guess the internet is being a little slow. Hang on. Let me pull up the resource monitor here. Oh, actually, we have a bit of leeway. Oh, we have a bit of leeway for RAM. I did get this. Oh, left turn was on her last life. We have a bit of leeway for RAM, so I can always get this VM more if I absolutely need to. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and increase the amount of RAM this thing has to 8 gigs once this is done installing. What? There's supposed to be something else here, but why is it? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna need to reconfigure apt. So, hang on. I'm gonna have to. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect this VM from the internet, just so that. installation will fail, so that I can reconfigure apt. I'm going to reconnect. Configure the package manager. Yes. HTTP. United States. Let's just do the regular Debian mirror. Okay, this should work. Okay, this should work now. What the fuck? How much bandwidth are we pulling? Oh, no wonder why it's taking so long. The download rate is shit. Oh, okay, never mind. It just fixed itself. And, let's not risk breaking anything. We're just gonna do anything. We're just gonna include what we need. Don't want to participate in the popularity contest. There we go! Okay, so, you know what, I want to keep the experience consistent between these VMs. We're going to choose KDE Plasma. It's not Plasma, it's not going to be Plasma 6, but that's okay. And let's take a bit. So now we're pulling 10 megabytes per second, so it should be good. Well, the reason why I have some games, why in my previous OS-Ception since I've been playing this game, I've been either playing the game or just messing around, with this. In this case, because I want to keep both myself and the computer here entertained while we're waiting for this stuff to install. Believe me, there is going to be a lot of waiting. But also, I'm also just want something to drown out all the background noise when it comes to my mic. So yeah. And the game audio is definitely plenty loud. Even with the sound effect on like 60% in game. File 1030 something out of 70. That left though is still on her last slide. Really good to it again. It's still... Yep, yeah, I get it, Lily. It's still spring. In the northern hemisphere, anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, because I'm using QEMU/KVM, hopefully we're not going to lose nearly as much performance as with the Windows VM yesterday. I have actually tested it, and you actually can run KVM in KVM.
So that's going to be pretty nice. However, once we get to pre-2007 versions of Debian, we're not going to be able to use Debian because it didn't exist yet. So that might be a problem. That might be a problem depending on how far we can get. Which, where is chat? Make sure to vote on. Guys, make sure to vote on our poll. If I do have any viewers. Oh, left journal died. You're the best to keep all this stuff organized. I gotta make sure that free map isn't the only one that's pointing towards the I tried to execute command and it didn't work. Oh, whoops, I have to... $55%. We have... Oh, we're using 9.3 gigs of RAM. Never mind, we don't have as much headroom as I thought we did. This usage is 24,000. Yeah, we're using 9.1 gigabytes of RAM. I don't want to push the limit to the extreme. I'm hoping since Debian, since Linux is lighter on RAM than Windows, then that I'll be able to give more of the I'll be able to give a higher percentage of the RAM to the VMs. Well, I'll have to check the RAM usage. But I'm not going to have as much swap space in the beginning. Considering that I'm using 3.2 gigabytes of swap on my host, and Debian only converted 1 gig of RAM, just 1 gig of swap rather. I mean that's fine. I can always just create another swap file to increase the swap space with me if I really need to. Anyway, the 12 is almost finished installing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said this is gonna look like total chaos. Yes, Lily, it's still spring. Okay, I see it installed the QMU guest message in this board. And there we go, installation is complete. Well, where is my mouse? Okay. I could just shake this for a bit to locate it. Okay, there we go. Let's reboot. And, yeah, let's... Okay. Gonna load Debian. And, excuse me. There we are. Let me type in my password. No startup sound, but that's fine. Sound's working. Now if I really... Let's see, how much RAM is Plasma using? Oh, I forgot. I can't use the shortcut. I can't use the shortcut I'm used to start the system monitor. Okay, so right out of the gate, we're using 1.3 gigabytes. I could probably give the system about... I could probably give the Debian 10 VM about, like, 4 gigabytes of RAM. But, yeah, okay. First we're going to turn on dark mode, because that's first priority whenever I install Debian, whenever I set up a new computer. And also change this stupid behavior. I just... Why did I go with Plasma? The usual shortcuts I'm accustomed to just don't work out of the box. But we need to launch console. Let me see if I can increase the screen resolution here, because I don't just want to have this black bar around the screen. 1440 by 900? Okay, that's good. Okay, we can't really do 1600 by 900. Let me see if I can... I have the option to... Okay, I have the option to auto-resize the VM with the window, but it thinks that the guest agent is not available, even though it is installed. Whatever, we're just gonna have to settle with 1440 by 900. And let me see if there's any updates to install first. Nope. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and install Virt Manager. You know, this is one of the things that is gonna make propagating the VM so much easier. I don't even need to open the web browser. I don't even need to open the web browser to download the virtualization software I need. It's great. It would be even greater if the download speed would be any faster. There we go. Okay. Now, there's one more thing I need to do, which is to add my user to the libvirt group. And, I'm just going to reboot. It's a bit inconvenient for me that Debian doesn't put sbin in path by default for regular users. Okay, so now we're going to open the virtual machine manager. And, okay, yeah, there's one more thing I need to do, which is to create a new virtual network because I found that trying to use the default one will cause conflicts. So we'll just call this network 0. So now we're going to create a new VM, and now you'd think based on here that you'd have to pick an ISO. You don't have, so that I'd have to try to drag and drop or get the ISO in the VM, but we don't need to do that because, well, first of all, I'm going to put the Debian 10 ISO. This is the wrong folder. So yeah, the next version is going to be Debian 10 because it's the first version to support secure boot, which is very late because the first version to support EFI was Debian 7. Well, whatever. Now, every device on Linux has some sort of path that you can access to get to it. And so we can just put in the path to the device file, to the CD-ROM drive's device file, and it will work. And the first CD-ROM drive, so like under /dev, that's where all the device files are. The first CD-ROM drive has the device name of SR0. And yep, there we go. It detected Debian 10. I'm going to double check just how much RAM we can use for this VM. 4 gigs is 4 gigs is pushing it, but we're not using any swap. So let's just go ahead and give this. Oh my god! I freaking hate this keyboard. The numlock is not enabled by default. And again, I'm just gonna do the manual CPU configuration. We're gonna go ahead and give this 4 gigs of RAM. And doesn't need Debian 10 doesn't need nearly as much, but we're still gonna go ahead and give it 60 gigs. We're gonna make sure we use the correct virtual network. Customize configuration before install. We're going to let's go ahead and make this UEFI and set the CPU topology to the same as the other VM and begin the installation. Hello? Oh, there you go. That just took a bit to load. You know what? I think I give this too many. I guess it just took a while to allocate the RAM. Like, let's see how much RAM were you? Oh, only 2.6. It definitely has not allocated all the RAM. Yeah, see, we're 2 layers in, and it's still plenty fast. Yeah, the reason I'm skipping some versions is because the Debian versions have run on a at least semi-consistent release cycle. That you get a new release roughly every 2 years. And Bookworm came out in 2023, so we're about due for a new release soon, which is why Trixie. In fact, Trixie's right now is currently in a hard freeze, which means all the essential packages are going to be treated as if it was a full freeze. So no changes no package updates unless it's fixing critical bugs. Okay, so the hostname for this is just going to be Debian 10. And do the configuration as usual. You're just gonna hear all my keystrokes all day, because and it's gonna go ahead and install the base system. You know what? I think having a physically lower resolution would make it much better, but yeah, it's not gonna look right anyway, because I can't set the VM resolution to the exact resolution of the actual screen right here. it's already almost done installing the base system. I was going to pick the versions based on, based on the, major version. So, like, the first version uses 6.0, first version uses 5.0, so on. Oh, now the right kernel is going. Thinking KDE might use too much for what I want to do here. This plasma itself is only using 1.3 gigabytes on this VM. And still not using any swap space on this VM yet. But you know what? We're just gonna use x-ception. It's more resources. It's more resources. Okay, so far we have one vote for the ending version, which is Woody. If you want me to end on a different version, go ahead and vote now. So yeah, the reason for each of these choices right here, first, let me look. Nope. We'll go to the other thing. 3.1 Sarge is the first version to include Debian installer. 3.0 Woody is the first version to have official ISO images. And 2.2 Potato is the first version to support both PowerPC and ARM. Freaking NTFS driver. Windows sucks, and NTFS probably obsolete. Microsoft, please add support for the extended file system. At the very least, add support for the fourth extended file system. I don't know why, I don't know how I didn't mention this in the video, but, my host, when it was running Debian 13, which is codenamed Trixie, this VM is running, the first VM is running Debian 12, codenamed Bookworm, and the second VM is running Debian 10, codenamed Buster. I don't know how I have to look at the code for these. Let's see how it's good. This stuff should be going. It's funny good. I mean, it shouldn't be too bad as long as the bandwidth isn't like 4 megabytes per second. As I've seen on yesterday's stream. Oh, geez, this not just gone on for over 15 minutes. Yeah, never put Chrono against yourself. It will end very badly. Of course, Debian 10 still has Python 2.7. Like seriously, short rank coming. If you're still using Python 2.7, then stop. You still like the only reason you could still be using Python 2 is if you just have far too much code and it would be too much work to migrate. And in all other cases, we need to update to Python 3. Python 2 hit its end of life years ago. Oh, the left one was okay. Finally, after 17 minutes. To be honest, I probably could have put an LXDE on Debian because, well, I mean, this is right at the time. I mean, this is right around the time that, I mean, Debian 10 came out in 2021, right around the time that the LXDE project had died. Okay, why is it choosing to deallocate the RAM and then reallocate it all over again? That's just so silly. Oh yeah, the CPU usage is 100%. Oh goodness gracious, the default resolution is even too high. I want to keep the... Okay. You know what? Apparently even 1024 by 768 is a bit too high. Is a bit too high for this, so... Okay, no... Okay, I get it. Let me log in. Use default config. Use default config. And here we go. This is XFCE. Or rather, XFCE on Debian 10. And, see if I can adjust the screen resolution. Oh, this thing doesn't do 1366 by 768. Well, that's fun. I mean, I could just do a higher resolution, but I want to do this ugly scaling. Whatever. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and up the screen resolution on the other VM. We'll do... Oh god, the scaling's gonna look even more ridiculous because... Yeah, let's make it, it's upscaling the VM and then it's being downscaled again. I think that... Okay, no, Okay, so let me... I'm just gonna run You know what? I'm just gonna run every VM in 1080p and see how crazy this, and see how silly the scaling gets. Okay, we're using 3.5 gigabytes of RAM on the Debian 12 VM, and XFCE, I keep forgetting the, is using, it doesn't tell me exactly how much. Thanks, XFCE. I have to use the terminal to figure it out. .2 gigabytes. Or rather, 4.4. Rather, 400 megabytes. I think this should be good for the next speed. I think... Okay. Let's just install Vert Manager, but first I have to make sure that this is up to date. Okay, it is. I mean, I know Debian 10 is end of life, but just making sure. Why do I keep trying to type an underscore there? Well, okay. It really took a bit to clear the VRAM there. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with this comically small thing for at least one more time. Okay. I'm not sure how many more I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to create one virtual network here or two virtual networks. Forwarding the physical network. Okay, so I am gonna have to create another network. Um, how do I do this? SH net create.
Pineapple, pineapple. Hey! Hey!
Create a network from an XML file. Crap, how am I gonna do this? Because, device 0 is not working. Because device 0 is not... Might have to temporarily, hang on. I'm gonna create, like, 5 more I'm gonna create, like, 5 more virtual... I'm just gonna shut down these VMs and then create, like, 5 more virtual networks. That way... So, hopefully we don't cause any conflicts. Oh my god. I think the Debian 12 VM just locked up. I don't know, it didn't just plasma. Okay, you want force this thing off. Okay, we're going to create a few more virtual networks. I'm gonna stop this network. Network 0. Kill this. Network 1. Network 2. Network 3. Network 4. I think network 5. Network 6. I'm just gonna create a bunch of network. Network 7. This is way more virtual networks than I need, but whatever. Network 8. And finally, network 9. And this is the one I'm going to use, but I'm going to make sure it doesn't just start up again. It doesn't just start up again right away. So now I'm going to reconfigure this virtual machine to use network 9. And then I need to create 9 more and then I need to create 9 more networks on this virtual machine. It's a very it's a very inefficient solution, but hopefully this will prevent hopefully this will prevent any future conflicts. Okay, so I need to stop network 0. Network 1. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. What happens if I try to start the... Okay, the default... Okay, default will work. Okay, default will start. Oh my god. Oh my god. Need to... What do you mean? I didn't kill all the virtual networks. To cut off all the virtual networks so I can create more. So this network. Disconnect this VM from the network. Of course the network needs to be I knew this was just going far too well. Hopefully with the VM disconnected from the network. Oh, now we can! Okay, apparently I just needed to disconnect the VM from the network. Apparently I just needed to disconnect the VM. And so we could create more networks. Jesus. Okay, so here I am creating more virtual networks. sure hope my youngest playing Bee Swarm Simulator in the background isn't going to get me content ID'd.
Yeah, I'm doing the 6 bug challenge with Becky. Last year I'm playing on Becky's account.
Okay, just create a bunch more virtual networks. I forgot to shut up. I forgot to shut off this network. Okay, let's see what happens if I try to get this back on the... Okay, activated the Ethernet fine. Did we... Is it actually online, though? No, it's not. It's just...
Go to another.
Okay, I can start up network 0. I can start up default, but I can't start up net... Oh my god. So it looks like I am going to have to do some bridging here if I want to go for... It looks like I am going to have to do some bridging here if I want to go any further. Where's the Nick? There. Jeez, that went on for 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay. Whoop. Okay, we're doing Journo versus Journo again. I don't care. So I'm gonna have to do some bridging here. Okay, we can create a new network by just routing. There's only one way to find out if it's gonna work, and that is by I have to make sure this is mounted. Oh my god, I have to shut down the guest. I have to shut down the VM to be able to use the... Why does it always save 5 sessions by default? I don't like that behavior. I don't like that behavior in XFCE. The fact that it always tries to save sessions by default. could just let the game play itself. Yeah, that's very nice. All the John Bach's background. It was? Yeah, Debian 8. Yeah, Debian 8 is codenamed Jesse, and Jesse was actually the last version of Debian to support 42-bit PC. What the heck, really? Oh, it locks the VM tries to lock the device whenever it's using it. Dang it. Why do I keep forgetting? So I have to restart so I have to shut down the VM again. I think funny how the boat just ignores the lock and just will just change it anyway. So yeah, in order to change the CD, I'm gonna have to shut down all of the VMs. Except for the Debian 12 one. So finally we can get a new VM. No, it is that SIC version 16.1. Gigs is definitely pushing it, but I think we can do that today. I think we can handle that. Okay, this is too high. Let's do 40 gigs for Debian Jesse. No, not the right network. Okay, I hope this actually works. And we... You know what, I'm gonna stop using UEFI because apparently it's just gonna lag. Let's just set the same CPU topology again. And begin. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to scale this one, otherwise it's going to be... Wow, that was very laggy. I've noticed it doesn't allocate... all the RAM right away. It just kind of dynamically allocates the RAM. But of course, so theoretically, you could just give a VM all the RAM, and it won't use all, and it won't fill up the system RAM right away. But it's still best to leave a bit of headroom. Okay, it took 4 attempts to get the time. I think Jesse is actually old enough that it's not on the main Debian repos anymore, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit... I am gonna have to do a little bit of manual configuration here. We'll worry about that after the base system is installed, though. The right keyframe is pretty good. Yeah, they'll probably do the right. Yeah, they'll probably do that as well. Okay, we're going to configure the package manager, and I think we are gonna need to do some manual configuration here. Let me check the mirror. Yep, Jesse's on the archive, which means I have to scroll all the way up and hit enter information manually. And then the archive mirror host name is archive.debian.org. Is there any activity going on at all? Yeah, there is some activity. Maybe I should have just switched the connection for the first VM. Yeah, it just failed. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shut off this VM. Then I'm gonna create. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay. My clicks aren't going through. Okay. I'm gonna create a new network. In routed mode. Well, first I need to kill this virtual network. Isolated me? Oh my god. Wait. I think I might have figured it out. If I just alternate between modes... will that fix it? So like, network 0, default, network 0, default, and so on. I think that might actually work. I got it. So got it. Okay. I'm gonna edit this virtual network. Well, first of all, I need to delete this network. And then create a new one in its place. And then I should be able to just set it to network address translation. Yep, there it goes. So if I just alternate between default and then a user-created network, that will work. Yo, I'm such a genius, you guys. I'm such a genius. Why I didn't just delete the history created one we can just let it replay the disk and just like nothing happened. I forgot to check. See, it only took one attempt to get the network. Okay, I figured out how to prevent oat conflicts. Oh, someone else has voted for the... Oh, now it's a tie. I'm recording at the same time. It's just gonna waste more disk space. I mean, I can download the bot anyway. I'm gonna read my recordings. I'm gonna have to connect to archive.debian.org. Okay, it actually worked that time. Did Debian just lock up? I think the VM might have actually just locked up. I'm not getting any network activity. Oh, I just went to hit cancel and it worked. Okay, so yeah, this error message is to be expected because just gonna have to resolve that, man. We're just gonna have to resolve that, man. What the f- Why is it not copying the person? Okay, so I'm gonna have to disconnect the VM from the net. From the network for a bit, so it'll... Actually, no, I am gonna have to deal with the, Yeah, doing this is gonna require some manual configuration using the console. So it might be a bit hard to follow what I'm gonna do. But... hopefully I can explain. Okay, so we are going to have to deal with the text-based interface for a bit. Well, hopefully we can make our way through. Okay, we're going to log in. So the first thing I need to do is edit the app sources. Okay, let's use Nano. First I need to disable the net CD. And Deb. So basically what I'm doing is I'm configuring apt correct so that it actually pulls stuff from the correct source. And in these I need to replace security with Debian. And of course I do need to uncomment those. And it's gonna complain about expired keys and whatnot. Which hopefully we can just ignore. take this long just to grab the... It should not take this long just to grab these sources. Oh, now it actually bothers to show a download speed. Oh, it did for a bit and then it just stopped. Yawn.
Let's see if you know about let's see if you know about competitive.
Crap.
So in competitive Pokemon, what's the most common yellow type? No. Incineroar!
Maybe insecurity.
Incineroar is the most common yellow. No, it's no.
There we go. I just wasn't using the right endpoint. Well, I got something, but it's not working. What is it doing? There's
I'm gonna walk down the
Debian dips. Oh my god. Okay, just comment out this. Comment out this line. Are you... What the fuck is it doing? How do I make it verbose? What? Oh my god, does this VM lock up again? It did. It did, of course it did! Maybe I shouldn't be sending so many keystrokes. Start this network. wish chat could help me. Okay. The problem is the Debian mirror. So, it's always saying waiting for headers. What is it doing? What do I need to do? Okay, I'm doing everything right, but I don't. But the the virtual network is just not cooperating. It just gets stuck saying waiting for headers. No, literally, for the second day in a row, the third VM down is the one that's giving me problems. Fucking fuck. You know, I might just skip. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna skip Debian 8. And just jump. I'm just gonna skip. I'm skipping Jesse. I'm gonna just jump straight to Wheezy. Oh my god, fucking system D stop jobs. Jesus. This thing is a... This thing is a piece of... Just getting the offline install would have been much easier. Why do I have to go through it? By the way, Debian OS-Ception is codenamed Weezy, and it was the first version to support Debian. Let's be honest with it, it's changed, but I didn't use the EFI for this, but of course the Debian 12 VM locked up again. I have to wonder if it's just KDE being a... I wonder if it panics because it runs out of memory. No, it shouldn't. It should just kill the virtual machine process instead of panicking. What does the system journal have to say? No, it's not doing the kernel panic. It's just a locking up for no apparent reason. Memory usage on my host has anything to do with it. Hide them, audio. Oh my god. So you're saying, yeah. So you're saying I should turn down the game volume. I mean, I can do that. Just do the volume. Just do the application volume here. Let's turn it down to 70%. I mean, okay, there we go. Is that better? Where is my mouse? Oh, it locked up again. Oh, no, it didn't lock up. I can switch virtual consoles. It's just the plasma locked up. Oh no, the actual VM didn't. What I get for trying to run this VM in 1080p. Or is it what? Okay. Please just work. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and lower the VM resolution a bit. Make it just a little easier on the virtual CPU. Change up the characters. Let's do Raymove versus Marissa. Oh, it's just so comically small. We're gonna try one. Okay. Gonna try installing Debian 7 again. Oh right, I locked up during the installation process last time. I have to go to the. I have to manually change it to the. I'm going to keep this always on top, just so I don't have to move stuff around. So I don't have to constantly minimize and so I don't have to constantly minimize and reopen the game. I think there's enough space behind the VM window now, but. I set this to be always on top, but it didn't go through for some reason. Okay. Once again, I have to go through the process of installing Debian OS-Ception. Don't freeze again. Nope. There goes Marissa. Yeah, so much for having a huge hitbox, alright? Okay, it has successfully installed the base system. Just hit pink double click. Archive.debian.org. Debian. No proxy. Okay, cool. The mirrors actually work in Wheezy. Cool. So hopefully we'll actually be able to install a desktop environment here, and if not, that's okay. Oh, we have to use GNOME. And it failed. Well, like I said, they can all be winners, and these are pretty old versions of Debian, so we're just gonna skip that and go ahead and install Grub. We're gonna be dropped to a text-based interface again, but at least I know that app is going to actually work. I'm getting into minimize this. Okay, first thing I need to do is edit the sources. and we're going to replace security with archive.www.org/Debian security. Yeah, key expired, that's to be expected. But over here, that's not to be expected. Is there any... We'll check the layout of the repository. Having security, disks... What? Did I type? Did I misspell something? Any favorite Vocaloid songs? Not ones that's... Don't I have any particular ones that stick out, but right now it's Tetoris or Matryoshka is also a good one. Also like Triple Baka and Teto Territory. You know what, I don't think... We can probably do without the, updates. Actually, we might need them. I don't know if I type. Probably don't need the source packages. Yeah, we don't need the source packages. Oh, I forgot to change this line. Yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna do a dist upgrade. So yeah, we're gonna update these, and yeah, we have to install these without verification. So yeah, first we're gonna update. Thank you. I think I have enough screen real estate that I could just send a chat to the... Okay, we are gonna have to reboot here. And yeah, this is sysbin init. I can't just type in sbin init, or sbin reboot rather, as the regular user. I have to actually do sudo reboot. And I think all what I need to do now is just install past desktop. Whoa, that is a lot of packages. Alright, we need to install 1,233 packages and it's gonna scroll through all of them. Oh, my Ray move. Don't tell me this VM walked up again. Of course it did! Why does it keep doing that? Close the wrong window. No, this is the content you guys getting right here. You just I try to do when someone tries to do something, but everything just goes wrong. Cool. I think I also heard of Toho from I think I also heard of Toho from the songs. And I mean, that's completely fair. Because, I've heard that the main reason Zoom makes these, games is to make music. God, I really wish I had a second monitor to do all this, because... only having one monitor is really... it's definitely not ideal. And the install process got interrupted last time, so I think I can just restart it. I'll just scroll through all the packages again like I'm hacking. Yeah, by the way, I'm not actually playing the game, this is just a CPU versus CPU match. I don't want to embarrass myself, I'm playing terribly. I am not that good at bullet hells. $420. Oh, they're both on their last life. I have actually beaten Phantasmagoria or Flower View before. It was on normal mode though. Good job. And reboot. Okay. Let's put the rabbits against each other. Raysun versus Tay. Got my water bottle. This is a reminder to stay hydrated. Why does this always lock up after Ugh. No, I said the problem started on the third layer down. Really, the problem started on the second layer down when this VM just decided to just start locking up for no reason at all. don't know why that is. Put the system. Let me put the system monitor for the W12 VM on top. I want to focus on just the memory usage. We're using 3.4 gigs of RAM on the right now we're using 3.7 gigs of RAM on the Debian 12 VM. We're using 4.1 gigabytes of RAM on the Debian 12 VM. On the host, we're using 9.4. Okay, 4.4 gigs of RAM on the Debian 12 VM. Okay, we're going to continue with the let me pay attention to this. I don't know how much of the main VM has just been allocated. Let me see. The RAM usage just jumped on the Debian 12 VM from went to 5.3. I think that's a pretty good sign that the Debian 10 VM has allocated all 4 gigabytes of the RAM I assigned to it. on my host, the RAM usage actually went down. So yeah, now it's trying to offload some things to swap. And we're at 5.5 gigabytes on the Debian 12 VM. No wonder it keeps freezing up. Because the memory pressure is now at like 90. Yeah, we're using 5.5 out of 5.8. Yeah, I certainly think there's room to allocate bit more RAM to the Debian 12 VM if I absolutely need to. Let's try to allocate more swap space. But yeah, it actually is locking up because it's out of memory. That is something I have to consider. Usually, like, I think from my past experience of actually running out of memory on my host, usually, like, the system will just freeze for like an extended period of time until the out of memory killer finally does its job. Ray sent on her last life, and Chloe hasn't gotten her at all. Okay, I'm still getting a cursor on this VM. So it hasn't completely locked up. And yeah, it hasn't, and yeah, it's still writing. It's still writing data to the disk. There's definitely still some activity going on. the writes just stopped. That's not good. Yeah, the writes, yeah, just stopped writing. So yeah, I do need to give this VM more RAM. I gave it 6 gigs already, but I'm gonna allow it to use as much as 8. This is really pushing the limit for my host. But I hope I won't have to use. This is really pushing the limits on my host, but I hope this will work out okay. Okay, the next time I start up the Debian 7 VM, it's going to try to launch Canal, which I do not want. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it didn't try to launch. Okay. Oh damn, this uses Java 7. one more try. Still have to... Okay, we still have 157 packages to configure. Gonna freeze again. Oh my god, I actually finished installing all the... I actually finished unpacking everything. I've had to reboot like 3 times, but it has managed to unpack everything, so we have successfully installed the GNOME desktop, and the last thing we need to do is reboot. And the VM froze again. Yeah, I actually do need to give it more RAM. Seven gigs of RAM. I am willing to do what it takes. Okay, so now we have 6.7 gigabytes to use in this VM.
You want some? Give it.
There's only 4 in here.
Eat them. Oh yeah, I'm on the hot one now.
Take it a much deserved snack. Oh, I powered on the VM, but I didn't open the window. Okay. Oh, that was a weird graphical glitch. Wow, great frame rate. And it locked up again. So it wasn't the RAM this time, it was just the... It just couldn't handle the... It just couldn't... Well, we've only used 25 gigabytes of space on this VM. But my host... Oh geez, we're already using 9.2 gigabytes on my host. I think... You know, I think this... Let me give this VM fewer cores. Let's just do 1 thread per core. Hopefully that should ease this. Hopefully that should ease the load on the Debian 12 VM. And I'm gonna have to do the same for the Debian 7 VM. But yeah, it's probably the CPU load. It's probably the CPU load that's the issue, not the memory pressure. Yeah, great frame rate. Oh, the mouse cursor is desynced. GNOME 3 failed to load. I don't care. Let's just... Let me see if I can change the screen resolution. Oh my god, this is... Oh my god. Very smooth right now. Oh, it's at the highest possible resolution. Oh god. Okay, let's... Does Control-Alt-T work? No, Control-Alt-T does not work. So I am just gonna have to open up the terminal. Wow, this is... Okay, Vert Manager, QEMU System, QEMU User. I have yet to try Vertman. Zigzag V2. Ah, yes. What great frame rate. Also, this match has been going on for 20 minutes. But yeah, we're doing it, boys. We're going down another layer. Like really, we're going down another layer, chat. Damn it! Okay, we have hit the limit, and okay, well, we've hit the limit for KVM. We can no longer use KVM. But yeah, I saw that message that KVM failed to load because it doesn't have the required extension. That might just be due to a misconfiguration. Oh my god. You know, just install, just going, you know what, I'm pretty sure, just going straight down to just going straight down to Debian Etch, which is 4.0, that probably would have been easier, but we're not going to do it because that's not the spirit of this video. But yeah, we have hit the limit, so we can't. So past the third layer, we aren't going to have KVM, which means all VMs from here, which means all VMs beyond the third layer are going to be much slower than they otherwise would be. Actually, I should probably just go ahead and swap out the disks now. So I'm going to insert the Debian 4.0 ISO.
This was the hardest challenge I've ever done. Okay, we get our start. Wait, what? It's a dinner. No way. Yes, wait.
Okay.
Read the title.
Okay. I know this VM's probably just gonna keep freezing, but we're gonna push through. We're gonna push through until I either get to my goal, until I either reach my goal, or the VM just becomes unbearable to. Or going further would just be really painful and unbearable to use. So yeah, unfortunately, we will no longer be able to use KVM from here on out. And the and I'm pretty sure the installation got interrupted again. Oh, there was literally just one package left to configure. Okay, we're gonna open the virtual machine manager. Cool. I forgot to start libvirt. Okay. Serial service. Oh well, sound's working. Libvirt D. How do I... Oh my god. etc and D. Oh. Serial service, libvirt bin start. Well, it says libvirt D is running. Libvirt daemon. The libvirt daemon is running. Might be because we. Why did it reset the CPU? Why did this? Oh, the CPU configuration is messed up. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's set this to the default KVM 64. Maybe this will... No. KVM still failed to start. I might be able to fall back to VirtualBox. But it's very important that I have some form of network connection. I can't just do like a regular QEMU. Let me see, does this have VirtualBox? Okay, yes, this does. Oh wow, it's version 4.1. So, maybe VirtualBox will. So yeah, maybe VirtualBox will work. But I have my doubts. So this might be the end here, which would be unfortunate because I was really hopeful that I would be able to get deeper than I did yesterday with the Windows-Ception. I only managed to get down to Vista before the VM became unbearable to use. Oh, nope, no. Okay. I clicked the wrong thing. I was trying to open chat. No suitable module found. Frozen again. We are. Hey. I promise we are gonna make it. We are gonna make it. We are gonna make it. Gotta be patient. In the terminal yet again. Froze when building the... Nope, the VM's not frozen, it's just... Okay, good, the V-Box modules are working. where is... There it is. Hey, look, it's me. Okay, let's hope this works. This VM has... let's just give... Yeah. Let's just give it 1 gig. Allocated, and we're going to give this 20 gigs. With the create. Oh, is it actually gonna work? Okay, we've dropped to the first run, wizard, and the Debian 12 VM didn't lock up this time. It was the Debian 7 VM. Yep, use the host drive. Okay, is it gonna start? It would be amazing if this starts. Oh my god, it actually started. Holy sh... That's a go... This is actually gonna work. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. Damn it! No, look at how slowly it draws the screen. Okay, so apparently I need a 32-bit ISO because VirtualBox, because yeah, this thing isn't gonna support. Like if I went over to Windows, yeah, I don't see any 64-bit options. So yeah, I am gonna need a 32-bit distribution. So hang on while I grab that. Okay, it's done downloading. And I am actually going to need to shut down all of these VMs. Oh shit. Oh, the screen's scrolling. GNOME is trying to do a little scroll effect. Let me see if I can lower the resolution and if it'll be any faster. Okay, we can do 1024 by 768. Oh, I think 1280 by... I think 720p actually looks better. Actually, so let me shut down this VM. And apparently it doesn't recognize the shutdown command, so I have to force it off. And I'm going to shut down the Debian 10 VM, and finally the Debian 12 VM, so that I can swap this to the Debian the 32-bit Debian 4.0 ISO. But yeah, I'm thinking, I'm like, holy shit, guys, we're actually gonna go deeper. Modify the stored configuration for monitors. But to go back, oh my god, so unbearably close! if I lower the resolution to 800 by 600, it would look pretty bad. Where did my cursor go? We're not virtual machine manager. Virtual box. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Although I still think this could work without passive autonomy, and they changed the passive atomic sunrise the character on the most basic channels. So the first one was when you use the finisher, it would allow you to use
Booting the kernel.
that wasn't the finisher once without going underline. So you could use input cut 2 times a month. And then they changed it for some reason to where 10 seconds of this flaming sword and it does like buffer damage. And now they changed it again. So it's the same idea except instead of a time, it does a certain amount of hits before it goes away. 5, 6, 7. So it's 8 hits. And yeah, it does a lot of damage. There's also a variant. It's not working. Oh, I'm so dumb. So you have to do it this way. Okay, so you can only do it 4 times. And it doesn't count towards your N1 count. So you can still do 4 of those fire blasts. And then also...
Oh my god, this is... look at that refreshing.
Wait, this is sick. This is even cooler. Why did this remind me of Blox Rules?
Look at it refresh the screen. This is like... Yeah, we're definitely not gonna be able to go... Yeah, if we can actually make it through the installation here, we're definitely not going to be able to go any further. I'm going to end this poll. Oh my god, this is so... Slowly but surely. I had this... This thing has 8 vCPUs and it's still struggling. This is so hilariously slow. I think... Oh, there goes the race son. And that... Wow, that went for 34 minutes. trying so hard. It's trying so hard. I mean, we're 4 layers deep, but subsystem initialized. Oh my god, this is... This is so comically slow. I mean, we're definitely not going to be able to go any further than this. So I just want to get this. I just want to make sure that we can actually go through the install process of Debian 4.0. It showed the pop-up. Oh my god, you can actually see it right out the line. It's so slow, you can actually see it right out the line of text. It's taking like 10 minutes just to boot this stuff up. I wonder. It's still moving. Nah, bro, the CPU inside this Debian 4.0 VM be running at 1 megahertz. Favorite vocalists themselves? I think it's pretty close between. For me, it's pretty close between Kasane Teto and Megumi Narita. Oh, we got green. It redrew the screen. I can't get over how slow this Debian VM is. Oh shit, I think this would run faster on an This would run faster on an You know what? I'm not even gonna attempt to get through this. The risk of one of the VMs locking out, particularly this Debian 12 VM, is just too high to. And this VM is gonna take This VM is gonna take an eternity to do anything anyway. The Debian 4.0 VM, anyways. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I think this is a good scene to end the stream on. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Bye.